So the next one we have is open closed principle. So OCP means that the software entities, it could be classes, modules, functions, they should be open for extension but closed for modification. What does that mean? We have a class, we created a class with some functionality, and later in the future, a new requirement comes into the picture. And to accommodate the new requirement, we would have to modify the existing functionality. It could be the change in the existing class or a function. So that violates the OCP, the open closed principle. The open closed principle, it encourages that we design our software components in a way that if a new requirement comes into the picture, we can extend our code base to accommodate the requirement without altering or modifying the existing functionality or the code. So that's a OCP. Let's do the hands-on for better understanding. We would be following the same example that we did in the last video for the single responsibility principle. This is our last example. Now, let's say the library wants to expand the service and they want to add the DVDs. The students or the users, they can check out the DVDs, right? How would we do that? Again, we will create the model. We'll call it a DVD. Okay. Now the DVD would have the title as well as the is available property that we added in the books. Let me copy this one. We'll paste it here. Let me replace this one. Now our class is ready. Till now we haven't violated the single responsibility principle. We have added a new class, right? And this class is also responsible for the DVD related information. Now let's say in the library service we want to check out the DVDs as well. What we would do, we would have to create the methods. Okay, let's say we call it a process DVD checkout, and we would pass the DVD item and it would return the DVD as well. Okay, so far so good. We have made our changes as we wanted to add the DVDs into the library service. So we have violated the open closed principle here. How can we do that? So if new item is added into the library service, still our code would be same. We don't have to modify it. Let's do one thing. Let's modify the code in the books first. Now what we're gonna do that we would create an interface. We'll call it a catalog iCatalog item, and the books and the DVDs, they both would inherit it. How can we do that? In the models we add a class, we call it the interface. It's a iCatalog item maybe, right? And this would have the title as well as the is available. Okay, now this book would call the iCatalog. Let me copy this one and paste it here. So far so good, right? Now the DVD, when we added the new class, we would be extending the iCatalog item. We are not modifying. So far so good, right? And when we created this service, we would be passing the iCatalog item. We would be deleting this one. It's no longer needed. And we would be saving this information. Okay, now still it's valid for SRP as well as OCP. In the service implementation, library service implementation, we would also change it to iCatalog item, and this one as well. All good, right? Let me close this one. Now what we're gonna do now, let's see if it works for the book file. Okay, it's working fine. Now let's create the DVD instance. Programming. Okay, now let's say if it works, if I pass the DVD to checkout. Again, it's working fine. So if you think about the code changes that we made, we made the iLibrary service to accept the superclass so we can pass the subclasses. We created the superclass or the interface so that whenever a new type of catalog we want to add in the library service, we just have to extend it. Okay, and we would be passing that instance to the checkout. Now this structure is following both OCP as well as the SRP. In the next lecture, we will see the list cost substitute principle. I'll see you there, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.